Happiness is a funny thing. Growing up, I always thought that I would be happy when I finished high school. I finished high school and I wasn't happy. I didn't realize that I would be happy when I purchased my first laptop for college. I was excited when I got my laptop, but I still wasn't happy. I can imagine that I'm not alone in experiencing this. In fact, Buddha struggled with finding happiness almost 2,500 years ago. In his early life, Buddha enjoyed the luxuries and pleasures of the world, but simply wasn't happy. He then gave up all those luxuries and still wasn't happy. The Buddha eventually realized that there has to be a middle ground between self-indulgence and self-mortification. He believed that finding this middle ground, or middle way, should lead to happiness. He applied this technique to his own experiences and eventually synthesized 4 noble truths: the truth of suffering, the truth of the origin of suffering, the truth of the ending of suffering, and finally, the truth of the path to the ending of suffering. The first noble truth states that suffering is an inherent part of existence. It follows us from birth to death. This leads to the second noble truth that says that the cause of the suffering is desire. Desire consists of our craving for pleasure and attachment to worldly possessions and power. The third noble truth mentions that this suffering can end if we separate ourselves from these worldly cravings. Finally, the last truth says that the Eightfold Path is a way that you can separate yourself from your desires. Now, unlike Jesus, Muhammad, or Moses, Buddha's wisdom did not come from a higher power. His wisdom was deduced through reason. That's why some argue that Buddhism is more of a philosophy rather than a religion. With that being said, the Eightfold Path is essentially a roadmap to reach happiness and live a good life. This path consists of 8 parts that should be practiced simultaneously. Let's take a look at them one by one. The first one is called right speech. Right speech means telling the truth and abstaining from spreading hatred and disunity among people. It also states that one should stay away from harsh, malicious, and abusive language. The second one is right action. Right action states that one should promote moral and honorable behavior. For instance, one should stay away from killing others and stealing. The third one is right livelihood. Right livelihood says that one should stay away from careers that bring harm to others. The fourth one is right effort. Right effort is the will to prevent an evil state of mind from arising. The fifth one is right mindfulness. Right mindfulness is the ability to be fully aware and mindful of one's body and mind. It is commonly practiced through meditation. This is very similar to the sixth one, which is right concentration. The seventh one is right thought. Right thought is having the wisdom to put aside one's attachment to worldly desires, and rather fill one's head with thoughts of love and non-violence. The final part is right understanding. Right understanding is essentially knowing and understanding the 4 noble truths. Unlike other established religions, Buddhism and the Eightfold Path is a way of life that should be followed, practiced, and developed by each individual. It is the path that Buddha found to reach happiness.